Hello and welcome to Asan Hai Education. In this video, we will discuss about the measures taken by Indian government to achieve inclusive growth. In last video, we have discussed what is inclusive growth, what were the different elements of inclusive growth, and we have also discussed about the major challenges which India is facing to achieve inclusive growth. Okay, so in this video, we will discuss what are the measures taken by India to achieve inclusive growth. Okay, so let's start. See, measures taken by India to achieve inclusive growth. Several schemes are being implemented by the government for inclusive growth. So let us see what are the major schemes run by the government of India to achieve inclusive growth. So you can see the first scheme is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act scheme, which is known as MGNREGA, and it provides 100 days of assured employment opportunities to the eligible youth or eligible working age population. The second is related to Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. This also helps in employment generation. Third is Mudra Bank scheme, which helps in achieving loan without collateral. Okay, so this Mudra Bank scheme is related to providing loan without collateral to micro, small and medium enterprises sectors so that they can develop on the basis of their own empowerment. And the fourth is related to Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana. This is related to skill development, which will also help in your inclusive development. The next is Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Urban Livelihood Mission. So that Gramin Kaushal Yojana was related to rural area, and this Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Urban Livelihood Mission, is related to urban areas where skill development will be provided to live your livelihood in a better way. The next is Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, under which every child in the age group of 6 to 14 age group is provided primary education free of cost. Okay, and the next is National Rural Health Mission, which is a major program in the health sector. Bharat Nirman is also there. Swachh Bharat Mission, which will also improve sanitation. Okay, Swachh Bharat Mission is also a program which will help us in achieving the inclusive growth, because when India is clean, so it will also reduce the expenditure of India on the health sector, because due to the dirty places which exist at various places, they are the major causes of the diseases such as malaria, okay, and dengue. The next is Mission Ayushman, that is Ayushman Bharat. Under this Ayushman Bharat Yojana, the government is providing 5 lakh per family cover to secondary and tertiary sector. Okay, so poor and vulnerable sections are covered under Ayushman Bharat, and 5 lakh per family per year is provided to cover secondary and tertiary sector of healthcare. The next is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, which is a major component which will cover the financial inclusion. Okay, so these are some of the major initiatives which have been taken by the government of India to achieve inclusive growth, and two major initiatives are Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act and Ayushman Bharat, as well as this Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. So all these initiatives you can quote while you are writing answers related to inclusive growth. Now let us see what are some of the major initiatives taken by government. Also, government is working with NGOs and international groupings in policy making also. For example, DISA project is being implemented in partnership with the UNDP for creating employment and entrepreneurship opportunities for women in India. So the government is also working with the different NGOs. Okay, so the government is also working with the NGOs and international groupings in policy making. For example, DISA project is being implemented with the partnership of United Nations Development Program. So these all the initiatives will help India to achieve inclusive growth. So let us discuss Niti Aayog's strategy for New India at 75 has the following objective. This document can be very useful for your mains answer writing. This Niti Aayog's strategy for New India at 75, when we will celebrating our 75th independence in 2022. So let us discuss what are some of the objective or what are some of the goals which have been set by the Niti Aayog's 3 years action agenda, that is strategy for New India at 75. To have a rapid growth which reaches 9 to 10% by 2023, which is inclusive, clean, sustained and formalized. So according to Niti Aayog's strategy for New India at 75 has the objective to achieve a rapid growth which reaches 9 to 10% by 2022-23. And this growth will be inclusive, clean and sustained and formalized. Okay, the informal sectors workers will be shifted to formal sector, and we have to leverage the technology for inclusive, sustainable and participatory development by 2022 and 2023. So the technological advancement which is taking place in the sector of artificial intelligence and industrial revolution 4.0, this technological advancement will be leveraged to include a participatory and sustainable development, and to have an inclusive development in the cities to ensure that urban poor and slum dwellers including recent migrants can avail city services. So the government will also be providing shelter and clothing to these slum dwellers and urban poor who are living on the slum areas, and they can contribute to the development of city as well. So these are some of the initiatives or some of the goals which have been set by Niti Aayog's strategy for New India at 75. So let us discuss some more points which have been discussed in Niti Aayog's strategy for New India at 75. This document also discusses to make schools more inclusive by addressing the barriers related to physical environment, for example, accessible toilet, admission procedure as well as curriculum design. So this Niti Aayog agenda also relates to remove physical environment, because according to a survey, the Indian girls who are not able to reach to schools is due to the physical barriers are this physical environment, because the toilet facility is not available. So due to this social barrier, due to this social stigma, they are not able to achieve school education. And agenda also talks about to make higher education more inclusive for the most vulnerable group, for example SCs, STs, OBCs, women and minorities. This higher education may be more inclusive, and to provide quality ambulatory services for an inclusive package of diagnostic, curative, rehabilitative and palliative care close to the people. So this is talking about health sector, and we have discussed a program known as Ayushman Bharat, which will, if implemented on the ground level, will be a game changer for India in the health sector. And to prepare an inclusive policy framework with citizens at the center. Citizen-centric policies will be implemented. All these initiatives or all these goals have been set by Niti Aayog's strategy for a New India at 75. So all these things you can quote. Now we will discuss what are the major recommendations given by World Economic Forum. Okay. World Economic Forum has suggested 3 practical ways by which countries can boost social inclusion as well as economic growth. So let us see what are the major recommendations given by World Economic Forum, which is a global institution working to promote inclusive growth. The first recommendation is countries should increase public and private investment in their citizens' capabilities, which is the most important way they can durably lift their rate of productivity growth. So the first recommendation given by World Economic Forum is that the countries should increase public and private investment in their citizens' capabilities. It means that the countries should adequately invest in their health and education sector, so that their citizens are able to work at their full potential and they are able to contribute to full potential, because at present only 1.5% of our GDP is spent on the health sector. So as we know that we are going through a phase of demographic dividend, and if we have to reap the benefit of this demographic dividend, we have to adequately invest in the health sector and education sector as well. So the second recommendation of World Economic Forum is that the government together with employers and workers organizations should upgrade national rules and institutional relating to work. These influence the quantity and distribution of job opportunities and compensation, and thus the level of purchasing power. Okay. So the second recommendation of the World Economic Forum is that the government along with employers and workers should upgrade national rules and institutions relating to work. So work culture should be improved so that they are able to increase their competence and quality of product, and it also increases the purchasing power of the country. Okay. So the third recommendation is the countries should increase public and private investment in labor intensive economic sector that generate wider benefit for the society. So the third recommendation related to inclusive growth given by World Economic Forum is that the countries should invest in public and private investment in labor intensive economic sector. Why in labor intensive economic sector? So that a large portion of benefit is given to a larger proportion of the society. Okay, these include sustainable water, energy, digital and transport infrastructure, care sector and rural economy and education and training. So all these sector must be invested through public-private partnership investment, and these should be invested in labor-intensive sectors so that a large proportion of the benefit is given to larger section of the society. Because if we will invest in labor-intensive sector, the proportion of benefit will go to a larger proportion of society. So these 3 recommendations are given by World Economic Forum. This can be given by you when the question comes on how we can inclusive growth. We should invest in public and private investment in health and education sector. The second is related to we have to be best at our competency level, and so that we can increase our purchasing power parity, and this can be done when we produce good quality product and increase our competency at international level. And third is we have to increase our public private partnership investment in the labor intensive sector. Why labor intensive sector? So that generate wider benefit for the society. So in conclusion, what we can say, it is the concluding part of inclusive growth. So we can say that Indian government along with the state government and local government should continue to focus on eradicating poverty and achieving sustainable development in order to improve the lives of the India's people. So the Indian government along with the state government should continue to reduce poverty and eradicating poverty, and we should focus on achieving sustainable development goal which is set up under the SDG target to achieve by 2030, so that it can improve the lives of India's people. Okay, through innovative partnership with an international organization, civil societies and private companies, inclusive and equitable growth can be targeted. So we have to take the benefit of advancing technologies, for example 5G and AI, to reduce poverty and promote inclusive growth in India. Inclusive growth will help in empowerment of vulnerable and marginalized population, improve livelihood and augment skill building for women. So this inclusive growth will also help in empowerment of vulnerable and marginalized population, for example SCs, STs, OBCs, minorities and women. And this will also improve the livelihood and it will also augment skill building for women, and women empowerment will also take place. So this inclusive growth must be with the partnership of international organizations, civil societies, NGOs to include inclusive growth, and Indian government along with state government should continue to eradicate poverty and should focus on achieving sustainable development target which is set up by United Nations to achieve by 2030. So this was a comprehensive video on inclusive growth. We have discussed what is inclusive growth. Okay, what are the elements of inclusive growth, what are the major challenges of inclusive growth, and what are the initiatives taken by the government of India to inclusive growth, and we have seen what are the recommendations of World Economic Forum to achieve inclusive growth, and we have also seen the concluding part of this inclusive growth. So this concludes our video on inclusive growth. If you see this lecture 2 to 3 times, you do not need to refer any other material for the topic mentioned in your GS paper 3, which is named as inclusive growth and issues arising from it. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a great day.